Why exactly did you end up staying back and decided to work with your family business?
It's purely very emotional driven.
Indians have a green checklist.
Family businesses continue to be entrepreneurial.
How was your dad okay with, bringing you so much of energy system?
I did not jump immediately into building systems.
Something that you are extremely looking forward for.
I'm just understanding structure.
What exactly do you mean by a sales engine?
So what I mean by a sales agent is understanding and fine-tuning how the AI is able to analyze the given inputs.
More agentic capabilities.
AI agent.
Agents. Agentic workflows.
So you are still leveraging AI, but you are making it warm.
And it takes ages to, understand the sales funnel.
If you have a question, who would you go to?
ChatGPT.
We onboarded within 3 months almost 200 dealers.
Nice.
Right.
Give advice to our younger self.
I'll just be an observer. At then money matters.
Don't sell, build relationship.
What, according to you, does the future look like? So today is a very, very interesting episode because we are sitting with like 3 second generation family based business owners, and I am really interested to discuss with both of you that why exactly did you end up staying back and decided to choose to work with your family business, and what is the kind of transformation that you are aiming to build in that. So let's start with Ateev.
Okay, why I chose to stay back? It's purely it's not very logical. It's not very number driven. It's purely very emotional driven because I'm pretty tight with my family, like very close with my dad and my mom, and honestly, staying back was less of an option of me not wanting to go abroad, but more about the pull that I could see that as the scale increased of the company, how inefficient processes and also just different leakages caused a lot of stress in daily operations. And for some reason, seeing that just made me want to stay back and made me want to be like, there has to be a better way to figure it out. And also, it wasn't a very conscious decision. It's not like I stayed back because I didn't get a college. It's more because I went there to do music. I did music for 3 months. And when I came back from LA, from doing that whole thing, there was not much scope back then in India for independent music. So I was just like, okay, I had to do somewhere to work. And the only other place who could give me the freedom to do music is actually if I work with dad. But it turned out that I sort of have now kept music on the back and I've gone full 100% on this because it just made sense. Like It just did not feel like a decision that had to be made.
What about you, Yash?
Amazing. So, I totally agree with Ateev because it's emotional decision. And I'll tell you, 90% of Indians have a green checklist. First, if you're a Gujarati Marwadi, yes. If you have the access to the capital, access to the resources which your fathers have built, then it's a very fast and easy journey to scale businesses. So we go from 0 to 1, which is already built. 1 to 100 is more easier.
Absolutely.
So no matter what we say that we will build something out of comfort and etc. But at the end, money matters. So that is why my decision was very simple. That the easy way would be to start with something which is definitely already built. And now, obviously I'm not running only dad's business, but it's easy because once you settle one business, you understand what they have done before, their processes, what's their logics, and how they have pivoted from one business to another, or pivot in the business itself. So I've seen that journey. So it was beautiful, and that was my decision making that I need to join his.
For me, it was kind of different from both of yours. I was always inclined towards exploring the world, getting a manufacturing degree, like mechanical engineering, going for a really nice job. And maybe eventually I had back of the mind that I'll come back in. And of course, it has been very different than that. But I always felt that I don't deserve to take that position yet. I always felt like an imposter. That am I worth it? Am I worth taking over, or like just building something over there? And it took me a few years to even feel comfortable that okay, now I think I know that I could now start supporting the business in some way or the other. So I really had to validate myself first with my own conscience. So I ended up building something on my own. But now I feel that the emotional aspect has come in.
Yeah.
Then okay, it's time. It's time to go back. Great. I think that's a great start. Let's try and understand a little bit about Ateev as a person and what does Asta Exports do, and then we can continue.
Okay, so Asta Experts, so we basically manufacture aluminium ladders and scaffolding for the safety industry in India. So we're a purely B2B company and we work in multiple different industrial sectors. Like you could be like, some of our clients are like Reliance, Tata, Adani, the government of India, and just a bunch of other different verticals in the economy. And dad's been doing this, so it's dad's company. He started this in 2000. It's been odd 23, 24 years. And I've joined the company in the past 4 years. And I entered not with any sort of like this grand entry. You're like, okay, now I'm here. It was more like during COVID, when COVID hit and we were all again in lockdown. I could see that dad was still struggling to manage all the operations of the business at one time. So it was just like, okay, I'll just start somewhere. I'll just learn something. And since then, I sort of understood that, okay, that was the first time I implemented a system, which was something as easy as Google Sheets. And how just putting those Excel sheets that were so scattered online into a cloud-based system was like the first hint of what could be possible. And that sort of led eventually down to building deeper systems.
So
And
that's
all,
what pulled you
yeah.
in, basically.
That's what pulled me in, because I saw how much time it gave us back.
Wow.
And how much less stress it gave. Because yes, of course, like for me, the money was an idea, but for me, my driving force wasn't money. My driving force was more what's the value that we
You're
can
able to-
provide to the world. Like,
Right.
because that's how it works in my head, is that
Right.
value will exponentially increase money.
Fair.
So I sort of just was like, okay, how can I help the system better? How can I help the company refine, get more efficient? Like, that's how I pick my problem statements. And
Great.
yeah, that's what I'm here today.
What about you, Yash? Tell us
Okay.
more about your family business.
Amazing.
And a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So obviously my name is Yash, and so if you know a brand known as Uppercase, Baguette, Tommy Hilfiger, their hard luggage, soft luggage are built in our factories. Again, not like him that his dad has started the business. My great grandfather has started the business, so it's like legacy
Yeah.
of 60 years.
Wow.
And we were one of the early manufacturers in Bombay who started in luggage industry, soft luggage, hard luggage, tiffin bags, backpacks, laptop bags, everything. Like we have SKUs around more than 5,000, right?
Nice.
So it's been like 45 years that we have been working with LIC. So it's like every companies out there who are customizing their backpacks.
And what's your company called?
So my company name is obviously it's a I mean we have different companies, but Pravasi Agency is the firm name. Then we have Pradeep L Traders as a firm name. But the brand name is Tribags, which is our own brand. We have multiple other brands, but Tribag is one of our highest category selling bags. In South Market, we are one of the highest selling tiffin bags manufacturers.
And
So-
what brought you in? Like what is it that you are working on in
So-
the business?
in the business, it's very simple that now earlier when he started, I mean dad and my uncles, it's a joint family business, right? They had a very different mindset saying that, hey, we want to just sell mass, we want to sell as much as we can. I had a different approach always, and I want to sell class. If I want to sell, I want to sell quality. I want to sell something which is very, very niche, and it is very, very effective. Like design, because it's backpack, right? It's a D2C product now.
Correct.
So D2C is something because I am coming with a corporate background and I knew this D2C journey very well. So thought that let's step in and transform this
So
industry.
basically converting a traditional dhanda business into a D2C
Yes.
startup.
Yes,
Is
it's
that
a
what-
D2C startup. Yeah, so you can say
Amazing.
that.
Amazing, great. I would also add on over here. So our company is Modernizing Trends. It's again a legacy company. My grandfather started it. It's into a lot of different verticals, which are into like construction majorly, but basically HVAC, fire protection, plumbing, which is the core, and radiant cooling, these are the four verticals we have. And my father basically leads the plumbing vertical. And as you rightly said, like the way they would structure the business was always through a B2B channel, like selling it through dealers, distributors, etc. But in our day and age, we know how much of the sales happens through like branding,
Yes.
through like customer retention, and through being in front of the customers. So I started as building a lot of internal systems first, because I could see that there are so many different verticals there. It needs better systems, better operations to in order to scale. So build a lot of internal systems, and then as of now, my role over there is to take the product to the customers. In a way, it's not a purely D2C brand, but creating awareness in front of the customers, and also at the same time leveraging AI, no code, etc., to build super powerful systems to sustain us when we scale.
Nice.
Love it. Now, I know for a fact that Ateev, you are doing something really interesting with Asta Exports, and you have some super powerful initiatives that you have taken. Before we start any of those, I really want to understand when somebody right out of music school comes back, joins the family business, and gains the wisdom that we need to build systems. Because trust me, we see this that it takes a lot of time to mature to understand that systems are important in a business to scale it up. What gave you the wisdom in the first day?
I mean, I don't know if there was any wisdom that was created, but I just saw how implementing solutions can save time. Because my whole moat is buying back my time. It's not about anything else but being able to have the freedom to get my time back. And when I saw, like, for example, like I said, the Google Sheets initiative, I learned that in college and I knew how slides worked. And I just saw, okay, if we're using Excel sheets, why can't we import it on top? That was the first idea of understanding, okay, this is something. I didn't know in my head that this was a system, or I would eventually lead to building systems. But it was like, okay, this was a problem, this was a solution. So instead of focusing on a system building, I was like, okay, if this is my problem and this is my solution, what is the best way to bridge that gap? And I think what happened is music school helped in a way, because one of my mentors in music school, who's one of my best friends already, he always spoke about taste is here, skill level is here. The whole journey is bridging that gap. So now, because of my mindset out there also being the same, because it's interesting because I've been building systems not only just for the business, I've built systems for my music career, which is why in 2 years I was able to get relative success purely because I built systems for that. And that again just came very naturally to me, because I'm a very efficiency sort of obsessive individual. I want to save time and not spend my time on decisions that have no value. It's purely focusing on providing me the context to be able to take decisions that have high impact.
Right.
And that way can only be done through systems. Without even me knowing, I just stumbled upon it.
Wow. So it was very natural.
Very natural.
Naturally occurring to you. Nice.
Amazing. So I have a question on that. Like, how was your dad, okay with, bringing you so much of energy, systems,
Yeah.
processes?
With dad, so I did not jump immediately into building systems. I started in 2020. For the first 2 years, I have to completely immersed myself into the company, going onto site, understanding what the product is, how the product is made, speaking to a lower ground level staff to the top level staff, really deep dive and making and using and running the company the way dad's been running it. But then what I also did on the side is whatever solutions I had in mind, I used to run them as beta tests. So I used to take 3 months and had a start line and an end line, and I knew what my KPI should be at the end to decide whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing. So whether that be, I did cold email marketing, I did LinkedIn outreach, I did automations in certain other specters, then I did automations of my processes, and all of them I did for 4, 5 months, and then I saw the results. Now, when I did cold email marketing, I realized, okay, I got 4 major clients that now have a CLV of approximately 4 to 5 CR. With LinkedIn outreach, I was able to go close Flipkart and Amazon by doing nothing else, which was a client that dad was trying to close since the past 10 years. That too in 2 weeks.
So this was all plus.
All
you know,
plus
yeah.
plus. Other than what I was doing already at
Right.
work. So this just helped dad see, like, okay, if he's spending time with this hypothesis, this solution, and iska result ye aaya, it was no matter of convincing. It was just like, theek hai, result aaya, you do it. And that's how it's been so far. Which way, even with Glide and Manan, like I first built an app myself, understood, okay, how much impact does it have? What's my investment cost? And then I was like, okay, let me hire an agency because I don't want to spend time continuously building.
These
it.
were all like no-brainer decisions that you proved yourself first,
Correct.
then showed it to your father.
Correct.
And then it was, for him, it would be foolish to say no.
Absolutely. That's what, because I would like to make a compelling case. I don't like to go to my dad like a son. I would be like, if I'm implementing, let's think about it as businessmen. You see the value that it's providing, see the results that I've gotten, and see what I'm projecting. Then take a decision.
Correct.
But it is also very important that your dad, allows you to take the risk,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, that is one
Because
thing
I
I
know
say.
his dad, he's a visionary guy.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's like, I'm giving you the opportunity, you prove it, and then, I'm taking the risk. You go and kill it. So, I mean, you throw a light on that, Manan. Like, how important is that?
So in my case, it was always more of me and dad having a relationship where he knew that I could take risks and I could deliver because I did that in the past with my own business. So there were times when even if he did not believe in the system,
Yeah.
he believed in me.
Hmm.
I am really grateful for that. I know that's not very common, but he would have, I mean, not all his beliefs have come out to be super successful, but he's always aware, okay, give it a shot, bet on the person who you can strongly believe in, and if it works out, fantastic. So for him it's like, if it doesn't work out, the money is going to go inside the family itself.
Correct.
It's not going out.
Correct.
So for him it's still worth it.
Yeah.
So that's how my father has been a little more of a risk taker, but also kind of like a somebody who peeks into the future and he realizes that, okay, what we need better systems. It's just that he realizes, accepts it. He knows that he cannot execute it right now, and if I'm willing to take that execution off his shoulders, he's like, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you an interesting story. So, I mean, it is very reverse with me, guys. So, obviously, my dad, obviously, he understands the processes, systems, what we have been building from years, right? But it was very difficult for me to convince at first. And I'm very sure many, viewers would relate to this because there are so many family businesses when second gen enter into the businesses, their fathers are not risk takers.
Yeah.
Because the nature of the business is such that, you are risk takers when you initiate it, but after some years, you're like, ab nahi hoga. Like 15 years, 20 years down the line, ab kyun risk uthana hai? So I was at that situation when I entered, and it takes a lot of effort to definitely come on the table, explain what exactly the expectation is. And as you rightly said, right, this made my journey also very easy when you run your own company. So to prove anybody that, you're also good and equally, your value is also there on the table, you really need to prove your point. So this is for all the people who wants to enter into the family businesses. What I learned from you also, and now what he's also saying, that if you're coming from other background, proving there, then it is very easy for family business to believe in you.
Correct.
Yeah.
And one more thing I learned was that family businesses usually tend to become like an echo chamber. So people are talking about the same things inside, and there's not a lot of exposure if you start working internally,
Correct.
because then you end up not getting what the world is doing. So if you get a chance to expose yourself out, like Ateev, I know you have exposed yourself to music as an industry, and you run your own production team over there. So when you are exposed over there, you learn so many things and bring them in.
Correct.
Same case with you.
Yep.
When you are exposing yourself with the corporate culture first, and then with your own business, you're able to bring those experiences and infuse it here. And what I also see is the experiences of our family businesses help our external jobs also so well. So it's
Correct.
all like complementing and building on top of it. So I think doing something externally makes it very much more simpler to validate our own ideas.
Correct.
Great. Do you want to talk about something that you are extremely looking forward for right now?
Right now, to be honest, the thing I'm looking forward is what we're working on. I feel running on 3 or 4 high octane engines at the same time is very demanding, but it's also very exciting because you can see the possibilities of what could actually happen. because you know, leveraging the newer tools with the new buzzwords with AI and automations and stuff like that, but also using what he learns with software and process automations and just understanding structure and just clean organized data flow is something that I'm excited to implement onto the company, because that's something we seriously lacked and are still on the back end for as scale increases. So like, yeah, running the 3 projects, like, you know, the whole optimization of the sales, Pravaha, which is my sales engine.
Can you tell me more about Pravaha? Because firstly, it's a very interesting name. How do you come up with these names? And what exactly do you mean by a sales engine, a sales agent that you keep talking about?
So what I mean by a sales agent is, if I go back to why I started building this, is because dad's motto has always been don't sell, build relationships. Because when you build relationships, money and selling and orders come like flow like a river. And that's what Pravaha means, right? Pravaha in Sanskrit is a free flowing river.
Wow.
That's how I'm imagining my sales system to be. It's like that. And what I mean by sales like a sales agent rather, is the ability to take a lead source, enrich it, create email campaigns based on past knowledge of what has worked for our company, the client history, as well as offers that we are providing currently, and have that automated to a point where eventually it becomes a warm lead. So automating, this is the first basis of it, is to be able to automate a sales outreach. However, the biggest difference is that while most are focusing on the execution or piece by piece of, you know, just getting the job done, I'm right now focusing more on the synthesis of data, which is what I feel nobody's doing.
Right.
Is understanding and fine tuning how the AI is able to analyze the given inputs and what kind of output is it providing. And for me, most output that I've seen in multiple different tools are very dry. They're very
Robotic.
like robotic, not AI robotic. I'm talking tone plain, like tone deaf, tone neutral. There's no emotion to it. And if I go ahead with what dad has said, and that's all that I've seen the company grow, you need to have emotion in how you're communicating, because at the end of the day, you're still talking to an individual.
Right.
So that is what I'm trying to bridge, is to be able to create an agent that is emotionally resonant. Because
Can you
when
tell us more about how exactly are you doing that? So you are still leveraging AI,
yeah,
but you are making it very warm.
correct.
So that definitely requires some special skill set, right? So
Some
would you want
special
to
skill
throw
set.
some light?
Honestly, to be honest, it's just ChatGPT.
Okay.
Frankly speaking, that's my biggest supporter. I use it very intensely, but is also for me because of just the experiences I've had in life, right? Whether it comes to understanding how humans think, whether it's under consumer behavior, whether it's understanding how I can impact someone with my emotion using my music, how that is another thing that has happened. All those things lead to a way of thinking.
So have you trained your AI to think like that?
Yes, to an extent, because I've developed my own sort of prompting framework and my sort of agent architecture
Amazing.
that is unique to just me and my company and how I think. And that's what's exciting, because
That's the secret ingredient.
yeah, that's the secret ingredient. Because what's exciting is that I don't know whether this will work or not, because this is so new. Like, what's one very fascinating thing that happened is OpenAI released 4.1, which is the new model that came out, and it released a huge document discussing on how you're supposed to use it and stuff like that. And at that time, I was building the first version of Pravaha, which is another agent that I built called Sage, which is just exploring these different things. And turns out that when I was able to compare what I expected Sage to do and what 4.1 as a model was able to do, it matched perfectly. That model was built for multi-agentic organization and orchestration, and that model was built to do the things I'm trying to do, which is very like a good sort of tick mark in my head, being like, okay, if I'm thinking in this way and the forefront runners in LLMs are providing models that support my thinking, it's quite likely that I'm on the right track.
Perfect.
So then I was like, okay, let's.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, I'm actually going to ask you one question as a follow up to that. That was really like a very insightful understanding of what he's doing. But it can also sound, for a layman, it can sound like what exactly is an AI agent. So you being an AI expert, you've been talking about AI for the longest time I know. Can you break it down into like simple terms? What is it like? What does it mean?
Okay, so what he talked about, let's divide this into multiple parts. So let's talk about first is sales processes, and then let's put it into AI. So sales usually what I mean, I'll tell you about my family businesses. From last 60 years, obviously, and you will also relate to this, that we have a network which was totally offline. There was dealers, there were retailers, and our dad used to go to, and we had the sales team. We used to go to each and every dealers, convert them, and it was very time consuming.
Correct.
And it takes ages to understand the sales funnel.
Correct.
Whereas now there is a new terminology in sales that is, the what he exactly said, lead enrichment, right?
Right.
So there is a agent. Agent is basically a human, right? A AI human, let's say like that, which can do the task according to itself,
Okay.
right? So that in a layman 5-year-old language, it is like an agent who can do the task without you getting involved, a human loop getting involved.
Got it.
What he is trying to say is that he has built some systems. Obviously, I am very sure he has built it on N10, which is the recent hype in the AI world. So the sales, coming back to the sales process, right? So there is a lead scraping agent. Earlier we used to go to each and every dealer, which I said.
Correct.
So what was the method? You used to go, give the business card, come back. Now there are tools like Google Extractor, Google Map Extractor, where you get the database very easily. So you scrape the lead, by the AI agent. So AI agent goes and you just have to say on Telegram, saying that, hey, I need somebody from Kerala whose income is this much and is ready to buy this product, right? The agent will go search on internet, find the right sources, bring the data in an Excel sheet.
So basically, you are giving it an input, then you are expecting an output, and in the middle there is a process which you have trained it for.
Yeah.
You already told it that do XYZ
Yes.
in this XYZ order, but it uses some kind of intelligence and like artificial knowledge as well
Right.
to adapt to the kind of things that you are already asked them to do.
Right. And the secret sauce, as you rightly mentioned, it's the prompting, right? Not everybody will get the same output.
Right.
Correct.
So what he cracked is the output. I mean, the exact output he wants according to his personalization. So that is why he is successful, because of prompting. If
Got
you
it.
know how to leverage the AI agent, you can easily do it. So
Fantastic.
that's, in simple words, AI agents are, what we talked about is currently is an automation. Now, when different agent interact with each other, that's a AI architecture, what he's talking about. So in layman, what is what I can explain.
But do you think this is something that normal general family businesses can implement or not?
110%. They should implement. It's like Thanos.
Yeah, it's
right?
here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
It's not going
rather
anywhere.
you start getting accustomed to it now, or you'll be left behind, which is just the unfortunate truth, but it's the truth.
And can it be done on your own?
Absolutely. I am no techie. I don't have any experience in development or coding or tech as a whole. I've just done my BBA and got into dhanda with dad as a Marwadi kid, learned experience wise and be like, how do I save time? Aise karke, this is where I'm at.
I think all of us, right? All of us is coming from that background.
Now, fun question. How, if you have a question like this, how exactly to implement it? Who would you go to?
ChatGPT.
I was expecting that answer itself.
ChatGPT.
So basically, the AI can help you build AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like it's amazing that what time we are living in.
Yeah.
Because I am coming from a mechanical engineering background. You are coming from a sales background. You're coming from a music background. None of us techies talking about tech.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Paradox. But yeah, I mean, for the people, just to give value, there's something known as Relevance AI now. To make it more easier, you can just type simple English and you
Correct.
can actually get the AI agent work.
I feel that there is going to be a lot of consolidation.
Yeah.
But as of now, I think that skill of just prompting, talking to the AI, understanding these things, the later you do it, the more you are losing.
Correct.
Because the speed
Is too fast.
Too fast. Great. I want to segue into a quick different conversation. Let's talk about Asta Exports. What, according to you, does the future look like? Like, what 5 years down the line? Because I don't see that for our fathers, they wouldn't see a lot of difference in 5 years.
Correct.
For them, 5 years down the line was what they are doing into 5x
Correct.
or like bigger.
Correct.
But what we are thinking about 5 years down the line
That's very different.
is extremely like it's completely different than what we are doing right now sometimes.
Correct.
So can we know a little bit more about that?
So how I'm imagining the company is that we have bought back time, and that this company becomes a living, breathing organization where every single loop feeds it, like every single process feeds into another loop that then feeds into another loop to create a system or an architecture that leverages operational systems that is grounded with Glide, have human in the loop, but then also each and every single employee will have his own agent who then interacts with agents that are already scraping the systems we've built. So therefore creating a sense that we're creating a meta team all as a whole, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole goal in the next 5 years, is to create a agentic team that sits atop all our systems, which we all interact with, to create almost absolutely perfect data flow.
Amazing.
So that wherever we are, whatever we are always on top and on track. And then the only goal that we need to focus on is just sales. Because at the end of the day, that's what I love doing, is selling.
Got it.
So if this gets done in the next 5 years, which is very possible, the scale will be very high, because then you don't have to do anything technically.
Ateev,
speaking.
curious to know, you mentioned that you proved something to your father
Hmm.
in order to get him to buy in to your process.
Correct.
What was that proof, if you can share that?
Multiple different, but are you speaking AI specifically?
Anything, like what exactly did you track metrics? Did you
So, like for example, in our entire company, our gold mine is like email is where all our communications happen for clients as well as for support tickets. Now, because we have such a big quantum of email, one or two people, it was getting difficult for them to keep tracking and keep knowing what is going on. So initially, I was like, okay, I have a CRM which is there, and I have my task manager. So I just built one simple bot on Zapier that can pick up the emails, understand the context, and then decide whether it's an inquiry or anything else, and then summarize that data and input it for the team to then track. What happened is, I did not expect it to work at such an efficient level and so brilliantly that we grew like 2x in 2.5 months. Like our sales literally tripled almost.
wow.
And seeing that, even he was like, okay, what is going on? Because
So
even
your top line tripled
yeah, top line
and your bottom line also probably supported the
tripled.
same.
And the penetration suddenly increased, where everyone knew who we were. Everyone was like being like so happy about the service that we were providing because we were so prompt. And then on the back end on my CRM as well, I saw my entire numbers. The numbers itself was so like shocking to me that I was just like, okay, what is going on? Because even the MP team was just like, these are not normal numbers that we're seeing. And I'm like, this is purely because of the agentic structure. Otherwise, there's no way that it is possible to be so efficient.
Great. Yes, do you want to talk about
Yep.
some successes that you
So,
have seen?
I mean, it's very easy. I just talked about Google Map Extractor, right? I mean, my father was so surprised because he took almost 40 years to create that dealers. I actually, I would say Aqua hired or, snatched their dealers because, again, I was building a luxury brand, right? So he was very curious about, okay, how did you reach the, dealers so fast? We onboarded within 3 months almost 200 dealers,
Nice.
right? So, and how do we,
And what amount of time that would have taken otherwise?
he took 40 years, yeah. I mean, so with him, it is going to be very like 40 years I built relation with them and etc. But in today's world now, when we know that everything is digital, online, your quick commerce is there, your e-commerce is there, the business is going down in offline world. Whereas in online world, it is increasing. So definitely there was a digital transformation which we required.
Correct.
So within 6 months, we were live on Amazon. We were live. I mean, we started with Meta ads and etc. And then we generated leads. So top line obviously doubled. I would not say doubled. It was more than that. But eventually, what I understood is that the mindset of the consumer shifted. Right, so they went from a low ticket size product, like we used to manufacture around 200 to 800 rupees. Now the same customers are buying around 800 to $1,000.
Amazing.
So the profitability increased. So this is what we did successfully.
Great. So what I see overall is, I think our fathers have really built strong legacy operations and legacy businesses. But our generation, who can leverage these new tools and technologies without even having a lot of tech knowledge,
Yeah.
Just, basically just spending time,
Correct.
understanding what they have done so far, and trying to extrapolate it and do it better using simple AI, chatbots that are available widely to everybody
Correct.
at a very bare minimum subscription
Yeah.
fees. We can actually create a huge
A
impact.
huge impact.
So it's an appeal to all my fellow friends who are probably second generation family owned business owners, who are probably thinking, or like a junior level who are thinking of flying abroad, owning a family business over here. I think it's the time for
Yeah, you stay in India.
yeah, stay here, stay back with your family, support them. I
Be
think you
more-
can do
a lot
fantastic.
I also agree that, I mean, I'll tell you a personal story again. Like, you asked me why I'm in the family business. I also had a compulsion to be in family business because, you have around 16 sisters, 3 families, and I'm the only son.
Oh.
Wow.
Right, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there is no option. You have to enter the family business, right? So why am I saying this is anybody who is believing that I need 200 people team, 4,000 people team, whatever, etc., and open a startup. Trust me. In fact, you don't require people. You just require processes, and 10 people team also can. Hit
And
a
I
billion
also feel
dollar.
that we are in a place where you can very easily convert your existing family business into a startup culture,
True.
a startup mentality, because we actually have like a really strong base, and I would call us privileged. Like we are
Absolutely.
super privileged to have like
100%.
a standard, like something that has brought to us, and then we tend to leave that altogether
To start
and
something
go for
new.
like a and that completely open, like if you are learning something new, and no offense to that, but my whole point of doing this is to showcase that family businesses really have good opportunities.
Absolutely.
Can you throw a light on when you say that you have converted your family business into a startup culture, right? Like, how did you do that?
That's a great question. So how I differentiate between a business and a startup, firstly I'll tell that. So business is like very core dhanda. Startup is where you're talking about scale. You're talking about rapid scale. You're talking about something that is going to rapidly, it's innovative, and it's at the same time, if it works out, it's going to take it to the next level. But if it doesn't work out, it's going to go zero. So while the family business takes care of the stability, you can launch startup like systems on top of it,
Yeah.
initiatives, and if it works out, it takes along everything with it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, it goes bust on its own. So it's like a no-brainer.
It's like a no-brainer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have anything to lose.
So simple example, we launched a plumber community inside our dhanda business.
Mm-hmm.
It's an idea from the family itself. As a non-techie, nobody would have been able to do it. But because of all these tools available, we could build a plumber community in less than 6 months, which could take care. It's a completely self-owned loyalty program, but it's built in-house. So we have like lots of nuances to it. I can drop a link below in LinkedIn of what we have built over there. But basically, that is a pure startup mindset, where if it works out, I can simply get funds outside, put funds in, and it will scale to like 10x, 100x very rapidly. As of now, I would say we have product market fit already,
Yeah.
but we are still going to try a few rounds of it. And if it works, it's just going to boom and probably take along the family business as well and scale it up together. So that base has given us really good opportunity to, build a startup in-house.
Wow.
So now let's do one final round of like a detailed deep dive for any younger second generation family owned family business owner who is planning to come step inside. I would like us to just take this opportunity to give advice to our younger self of if you were in the same seat right now, what exactly would you have done? Right. So, Yash, can you start?
Yep. So, I mean, it's going to be like starting from like in corporate world when you say KPIs, KRAs, etc. Right? Because we have a joint family business, and if everybody has the same skill set, then it's an issue. So, to give a straight away answer to this, first I will do is a proper role alignment
Okay.
for each and every family member, because if everybody is building the same skill set and not complementary skill set, it's going to be an issue. So my uncle is doing costing, my dad is doing sales, my my maybe brother is doing something else, right? So
you are saying as an individual, you will just go and understand what each member is doing as of
doing
now.
exactly. So what are they doing, and like how are they doing?
Okay.
Because I understand what are they doing at a surface level, but how are they doing is something which is definitely we should go in depth.
Correct.
And when we are in a luggage industry, a bag is usually having around 25 to 30 raw materials to build one bag, and every 30 raw material has 100 brands. Every 100 brands has 100 cost. I mean, different cost,
There are
right?
lots of permutation.
Yeah, there's
combinations.
lots of permutation combination, and you cannot I'll give you a simple example. My uncle handles 54 bank accounts,
Wow.
whereas nobody else can remember the bank account numbers. He's remembering each and everything. Now today, if he's not in the business, we all are stuck.
Correct.
Right? So this is something which I will give a younger self to myself, that if you're building a team, one person should not be like so dependable that if he stops, then everything is stopped.
So I understand that, but what would your journey be? So first you would go in, understand people, what they are doing, understanding how they are doing it, and you would probably document that.
Yeah, I'll document that. And in a modern world, definitely I'll use something like Loom video, something like, I go on, interview them, I record them, and I understand what exactly and how are they doing, right? And whom they are meeting every day, why are they meeting every day? Is it worth by time, by cost, by revenue to meet them also, and eliminate all the non-operational activities.
So basically you are saying that in the beginning you will not take any executive role.
Yeah.
You will just be an observer.
I'll just be an observer. I'll just be an observer for maybe 6 months, 8 months down the line. And also, from the bottom of my heart, obviously I have respect for all the family members, right? But if my role is to observe and, take decisions in a certain way, then that should be definitely told at the start of the, whatever transition I'm trying to do. Second thing which I will do is, after documentation, is, so automate, eliminate, delegate.
Okay.
Right? Automate, eliminate, delegate. That's the formula which I will use. So
Can you tell us more about what to automate, what to delegate, what to
Eliminate.
what to automate, eliminate, and what to delegate.
Delegate.
So how do you decide in that matrix?
Okay, so we were still on paper and pen, right? Few years back, we were still on paper and pen. Now it's very simple that for every accounts, or when you put sales ledger, purchase ledger, etc., you need Tally as a system, right? And Tally is again something which currently accountants do manually, etc. Can we automate that? Yes, we can 100% automate that.
Got it.
And you are the perfect person who can
Yeah.
understand. So yeah, you can automate such things
So
which
the
are
things that are repeatable, you will automate.
automate that,
What
right?
will you delegate?
Delegate is something where my expertise are there but not needed, right? So
So things that can be repeated, but human is required.
human is required.
Yeah.
Maybe taking collections, right? Taking collection is
Fair.
something which I cannot go and collect the payments. So definitely there are ways online, but in offline B2B world, you really have to have that structure.
Got it. So you will delegate some things that can be structured, systemized, but somebody else can do.
Yes.
And what are the things that you will eliminate altogether?
Eliminate is, how do I save my time? Simple. So some meetings which are not needed. So for example, if you're not doing the sales part, if you're not in the lead generation, when we say, if you're not qualifying your lead, then you're wasting your hours on on that lead.
Got it. So let me ask you from a family business. So
Yeah.
now that you have observed everybody, what are the kind of things that you must have seen in their process that you will try to eliminate altogether, and how?
Okay. So it's going to be very niche, but yeah,
That's okay.
let's say when we order for inventory of raw materials, right? There is a huge process where one approval is taken, like approvals. There are multiple approvals. You actually don't require it by simple CRM.
So basically, you can find the gaps in the system which are not redundant approvals that are there. You will try to eliminate those.
that. So, and then, everybody, like, you can just use simple Slack also, technically,
Fair.
to just communicate. So
Yeah.
communication usually takes time. And if you don't communicate, then, for hiring, let's say like that, right? If you're hiring some कारीगर, what we say in our luggage, right? अगर हम कारीगर को hire कर रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए मुझे approval लेने की जरूरत नहीं है कि मैं कौन से टाइप का माल बना रहा हूँ, किससे बना रहा हूँ, कहाँ से रॉ मटेरियल आ रहा है. I'll eliminate this process, we'll put on the table, we'll put on Slack and approved it.
So you are saying the first step is you will observe, you
Yeah.
will document, and then you have this nice framework.
Automate, eliminate,
eliminate, delegate.
Yes.
I think that's your wisdom speaking on this side. Great. Let's move to Ateev. Do you have like a framework that you would want your younger self to follow?
I wish it was that clear as his, but no, it's not as clear and articulate. But yeah, I have a way of thinking about these things. But if I had to say to myself, would be honestly just leverage what Dad had said, is that as a founder and as someone who runs a business, in order to protect ourselves and our company, we should know how to do every single or part of the business. So for me itself, that's how he taught me. He taught me how to do tally. He taught me how to go into the factory and pack a material. He taught me how to create a part list. Taught me how to take that material and go to site, how to unload it, how to assemble it, how to disassemble it, how to talk to clients, how to do in high pressure situations. Like what you said with observation, for
This is
me,
more like observation plus
yeah,
learning.
it's just close your eyes and don't fight the system before you understand it.
Right.
The idea is that most people would just want to go in and nahi, change karna hai because I'm young, mujhe aata hai, ye sab. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. Honestly, if you keep that mindset and just be like, I want to learn and just understand what have you built, because kuch na kuch to kiya hoga na unhone sahi. Something though they've done right that you're here today. So respect that, understand it, understand the emotion behind it. More than what he did, understand why they were doing what they were doing. Because if you understand the why behind it, you are then understand the emotions that also carry. Because at the end of the day, because we're a family, you are going to get into the crossfires. वो emotions आएगा ही आएगा. And that is something for you to be able to manage properly, you need to understand it first. So that's the first step that I would do, is understand what exactly is going on. The second step would be, before starting to go blindly just do 10 different things at one time, take one thing that you feel has the most impact.
Correct.
Now that, for me, I do use the 80-20 Pareto rule, which everybody talks about, and that's something that I think everybody should know.
Yeah.
Understand where 80% of your value will be coming from 20% of your work. Understand where the issues are facing there. How I noticed where there are issues are not by numbers. It is purely by how stressed my team is.
Gut feel?
Stress by the team, and how either unhappy, happy, fun, not fun. For me, because that is what matters to me more.
And this comes down to observation only, right?
Observation. You see that, understand it, then you talk to the team like exactly what we're doing. Talk to the team, understand what the problems are, see what solutions we can create, and then figure out a way to bridge that gap. Now, the biggest thing that if I had to tell anybody, even today, I think I spoke to a bunch of your team members about this as well, is that use ChatGPT and change the way you're looking at these tools from just a tool, sort of like a plaything to just like get work done, but something that can elevate your thinking. Because that's what I feel like. What's happened is it's augmented and like sort of really supercharged the way I think. Just because with ChatGPT, if I have an idea, I can tell it to it and it can give me questions that can make me go even deeper.
Yeah, so
And
introspection,
not only like for you to understand where you are at internally, but also पहले अगर मुझे ये solution है, ये problem है, उसका probability कितना है मुझे, if I do these steps, कितना probability है, is it worth spending my time on?
and what all do I need to know before I even start it?
Absolutely. And the most beautiful thing is that if you really take your time with ChatGPT, because that's what even like a lot of people have told me, is that if you take your time and understanding the tool as a human companion who can understand what your emotions are, what your driving factors are, and what you're trying to achieve, then that becomes sort of like someone who can motivate you to achieve and dream things that you never thought was possible. And when that happens, you become addicted. You become addicted to that dopamine of being like, I know I can reach there and I know I have a problem. The solution with ChatGPT I'll figure out.
Got it. So now coming back to the family business, you will go ahead and understand. You're trying to understand the emotion parts.
Yes.
You're trying to gauge the stress level.
Yes.
Then you are trying to find the problem statement.
Correct.
Introspect with ChatGPT to play around with if what I'm doing, is it foolproof or not?
Correct.
Ask me the right questions.
Correct.
Brainstorming, a lot of brainstorming and introspection. Then it comes with like a solution framework of sorts.
Absolutely.
What next?
After the solution framework, then figure out, okay, what is the, now because I'm Marwadi, I can't spend money, unfortunately. That's just something that's ingrained in me. What is the cheapest, the most efficient and the most effective way to implement that solution.
Right.
Once you find that, the biggest thing what I've seen a lot of people mess up about is not having an end goal to anything.
Right.
ये solution है, पैसा डालते जाओ, results आए कि नहीं आए कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, डालते जाओ because no मेरा idea है, मुझे करना है. Honestly, you're running a business. You got to be as bloody practical as possible and very pragmatic. So if you have it, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, run beta tests.
Right.
Take a solution, implement that solution. Give yourself 3 months, give yourself 4 months. Implement it and see the results. You spent X amount of time. Did you get the value back? If you got the value back, then double down.
Got
Because then you will know in your head that, okay, ये काम कर रहा है, मुझे result आया. That's one bird shot down. The second bird shot down with the same stone is what? You don't have to go to your family and convince them कि नहीं इसमें पैसा डालो.
Correct.
Report बना के जाओ कि नहीं ये देखो ये इतना है ये इतना है. Like even for something as small as this is a thing that I have in my head for anybody in any stage of their life, in any family business or any business as a whole. Any decision you take, validate it with your own thinking and validate it with numbers. What do I mean by that? Is that if you have a solution, back it up with
Right.
claims, back it up with resources, back it up with something. Don't just say it because he's your dad or he's your uncle that नहीं मुझे पैसा दो क्योंकि मुझे ये करना है. No, behave like you're going to a VC. Show it to him.
Behave
that
as a consultant.
Behave like a consultant.
You're pitching.
Exactly. Pitch. Don't, because that will not only train you for your dad, but if you
For the
eventually
world.
want to scale
Yeah.
and if you want to talk to more people, you need to be able to be eloquent with your thoughts. Clear, clarity, and concise. Those are the 3 things that I would give any founder, anybody.
Perfect. Great.
How about you?
I think it's very much, you both covered most of it, very much in those lines. But what I would do is I would actually go to the ground and speak to my people.
Yeah.
Okay. Speak to people, speak to everybody in the loop. And the thing that I would focus more on is the things that they are complaining about. Because every place that there is a complaint, it means it's a poor system.
Correct.
Complaints, usually the immediate response to a complaint is being defensive. कि अरे, this is how it works. But there is like a root cause to a complaint.
Correct.
I would try to identify root causes
Absolutely.
throughout. So I would actually, just choose the department I'm most interested in. Not even think about going across every department. Whatever makes me feel comfortable in, whatever is aligned with my joy. Because I think in the family business, you need to get in and you need to stick to it.
Correct.
Once you are in, then you will go across all departments.
Yeah.
So I would choose the department I'm confident about and I enjoy it. Then go in that, speak to the people, find the complaint points that they have. The complaints are sources of errors.
Correct.
Go to the absolute root cause of the complaint, figure those things out, figure out why the complaints exist, and you will be surprised that one complaint is linked to another and that's linked to a bigger problem. And it's just, because something that works like clockwork, and that's how the intention is eventually. The things that work like clockwork do not have complaints.
Correct. Absolutely.
It should work like a symphony. Everybody should be enjoying it. Every member should feel that they are doing something good.
Correct.
And if you will hear that from like really good successful startups, that every member of our team enjoys what they do.
Because they feel like they provide value and they're
Absolutely.
And they're,
So aligning everybody's KPIs or everybody's job roles to providing value
correct.
by figuring out their complaints and solving those for them.
Absolutely.
It's like objection handling, which you do in sales, but I would do it with my team first.
Correct.
Make that as a report and give that hypothesis to the higher ups that these are the complaints, but this is the root cause of the complaints. And to eliminate this root cause, XYZ things need to be done.
Yeah.
Now that XYZ is going to be very similar to what you mentioned. Talk to ChatGPT or talk to any kind of an AI, find a solution out of it, and help leverage that AI to build that solution as well.
Correct.
Make a beta test, go to the market, don't do anything over the top.
Yeah.
Build simple things. Solve for those complaints, see the gratification, and gratifying people will make you addicted.
And I think majorly when you go at grounds, as you said, right, the people who are complaining also give solutions.
Yeah.
100%,
Absolutely.
right? So-
And
Well said. Well said.
So
and
they
the
also
day
give
you
solutions.
solve for them, they become your best friends.
Yeah. Become
And once they're
loyalists.
friends, it's a different ballgame.
Loyalists.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because See, it's still a people thing, right? So when people are working with people, and then there's that energy in the room that exists. All of us, you see, I strongly feel that you need to feel the energy in the
Correct.
business. In your early days, if you start feeling the energy, if you start aligning yourself in the right role and in the right position, and you prove your work by generating some kind of result, even not even for the higher ups, for yourself.
For yourself.
You get validation for yourself, and you feel that, oh yes, I can do something. That's when it starts.
Emotionally resonant companies. That's
Perfect.
exactly what you've also done. Just being able to tap into the energy, because I feel everyone only looks at kitne numbers aaye hain, kitne. That is separate. That is very
Correct,
a
correct.
capitalistic
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, yeah.
And as Indians also, just with our culture, the way we've been brought up is always emotion first. It's always for some reason been emotion first. So why don't we leverage that into our businesses where that's the most amount of money you can create for longer value, for much higher CLVs, where. And that's precisely, and if you noticed what all three of us said, the basic grounding now, the first step is what? Taking a step back and observing.
Correct.
Do not assume that just because you're the owner's son or whatever, that you have all the chhoot in the world.
True.
The more humble you are when you enter, the greater impact you can have, because you learn that much more.
Fantastic. I think that really gave a great insight
Yeah.
about how a next gen, if they are starting up, like if they are joining in, what they can take.
Absolutely.
I don't intend to say that any of our answers were perfect,
No.
but I think our perspectives really can give good insight.
Yeah.
True.
Maybe we will be proving what we do probably
Absolutely.
after a few years, but till then,
We can just talk about it.
great. So I think that was a fantastic conversation overall.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I think I am really looking forward to seeing what three of our businesses do eventually, our own and our family businesses as well. And I would love to bring in more family-owned business owners on the podcast, see how they are taking their legacy and converting into like a much more modern version, and paying respect to our family, to our
Absolutely.
fathers, to their legacy that they have built.
Amazing.
Because
Fathers, mothers also. I mean, no offense.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
both. But that's what it's all about at the end, right? Just paying homage to, like, just respecting the legacy that they've, like you said, we're very privileged, all three of us, and just to have a basis to just explore and to learn. Not everyone has that. So yeah, it was a fantastic conversation. Thank you for guys for having me on.
Would love to obviously check your products. I'm definitely I mean, if you want to see my product, can somebody bring my bag? So this is our product,
Nice.
Great.
and yeah, I mean, this is one of our product. But yeah, it was very clear that we want to make a premium bag, and obviously Mocha Bora is there in this range. But my objective was very clear that the material which we use is more durable,
Correct.
and I can assure you that this bags can have, like, it can go till 5 years, 6 years down the line.
Wow.
So that is the strength of our manufacturing expertise.
Great.
Nice.
Now, on behalf of both of you, I'm just taking the liberty to share it with the audience that I know Yash is building something really powerful in sales. Ateev is building some really good revenue operation systems. We are building things for operational systems any which ways. And any fellow entrepreneur who wants just to purely understand how are we doing things, and if they are stuck somewhere, I'm telling them upfront that they can reach out to any of us
Yes, absolutely.
in their own custom domains, and we are happy to support them.
Absolutely.
So dropping all of your links inside the video.
Perfect.
Please feel free to reach out, and I think we are all available, definitely available on LinkedIn for
Yes, for sure.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you
sure.
guys.
Excellent. Thank you.